Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another silly car build. My vehicle today is a rather unusual one. This is the Rocket 69, the car from Fallout 4 that is now available in Forza 6. And I'm going to see how it fares. I haven't driven this car yet. I literally just got the message. I got the code to download it. So we're going to max the vehicle out and give it a drive. See how it might fare. Right, to the upgrade shop. Now, okay, we can't do anything to the engine. It does come with a lot of power. It does come with an awful lot of power in this one. 1,000 horsepower, to be precise, 737 foot-pounds of torque. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to do this for an autocross build, it is far too high a PI. The cars can only be A-class for that. So, yeah, this one, we're going to have to do a silly car build on the vehicle suspension. Of course, naturally, we're going to want the race suspension and all of these bits and pieces that we can get on it. I'm kind of hoping that if we go and put this roll cage on, that it'll show through the little bubble bits. Yes, it does! Fantastic! That's just the most ridiculous sight I think I've seen on Forza. I absolutely love it. Yes, we want that. Even if it wasn't to help with handling, I would still want that because it is silly. And we're going to want the full weight reduction. Puts it up into R class. Drops over £1,000 out of the weight. This actually going to be lighter than the Bentley by about £100 or so, but still it's lighter than the Bentley, down to 3,888. We can put a diff on the car. Okay, sure, we will go with that, and we can do tyres. Yes, let us have some lovely race tyres. As much as I like the white walls, I think they look great on this car. We want some race tyres because we do want some grip, hopefully, from the Rocket, and then we will do tyre widths. 255 on the front, actually relatively small for this kind of a vehicle, and 305s on the back. Often four-wheel drive cars have the same size tyres all round. Not the case on this one, but we do have some half-decent sized rear tyres. Hopefully we might be able to put the power down relatively well. Okay, well that is the Chryslus Rocket. Not a huge amount of upgrades can be done to the vehicle. However, it does start off with a hell of a lot of power. So, I mean, maybe this thing could go pretty quickly. It's all going to come down to how does this crazy contraption drive. Of course, to test out the Rocket, I have brought it to the Virginia International Raceway, where it will have 5 laps in an attempt to go as fast as possible. Our current target time being set by the Bentley Continental GT with a 108.4. I suspect this might not quite have the handling to compete with the Bentley. I love the way the turbines. Okay, we don't have a clutch. Do we? Okay, we don't have gears either, so we've just got a one-gear thing. That could be interesting. I was going to try and rev the car up. Oh, that's an interesting noise. Yeah, it's a very interesting noise in the Rocket. Okay. Oh, we've got an interesting dashboard and everything. We don't have a windscreen wiper. That could be a small... Okay, no, it's fine. It all kind of rushes away. Well, the traction's not a problem. We can kind of just boot it. Is that a G-force gauge? Oh, it is a G-force gauge. Ooh. Oh, crap. We've got a little... Okay, maybe not do too much wibbling and wobbling of the steering. We might spin the car. I don't think we have a huge amount of, well, rear grip or downforce for that amount. I can't imagine this would be a particularly easy thing to try and drive with a joystick, essentially. It does carry okay speed, though, through that first section. You know, the front end's not doing too badly. Getting turned into these corners. I mean, the Bentley had the almighty wing to give it some downforce. This has none of that, and it's holding its own, actually, through these corners. I'm quite impressed, actually, with this vehicle. And yeah, it really is. I can be flat out of absolutely every corner, and it's absolutely fine with that. I'm quite impressed with the car. That's a lot of grip and a lot of traction. How are we under brakes? Well, it is a big, heavy vehicle, so it's never likely to get stopped quite as fast as some cars that we have seen, and now we're going to go and play in the scenery a little bit out there. Okay, how quick can we go in a straight line? It's not an amazingly fast opening lap, about 170 miles an hour. In the Bentley, it's got to 170 as well, but we don't really stop for turn one. Okay, yeah, we're not quite as composed as the Bentley when we try to get on the brakes. There, it's a little bit terrifying barreling towards. So it's also very strange not having to, kind of change gear and do that sort of stuff. It's a little bit peculiar, but yeah. It's been a long time since I've driven a car with only one gear. Does the Tesla have? Yeah, the Tesla does only have one gear on it. Haven't driven the Tesla for a very long time though, so yeah, okay. Well, I'm sure I'll remember eventually that I don't need to be changing gear. I think where this car might fall down slightly is that while it's not bad, certainly through these corners, there is just a lack of grip. That's the kind of speed that I was carrying with the Bentley, and you just simply can't do it. In the Rocket, we can't just simply carry the corner speed. Having some issues as well getting it around that rather nasty turn. Right, I'm still fascinated by all of these gauges and trying to figure out which one does or what does what on there, but I should probably be concentrating on the road. That's probably too late again, isn't it? Oh, please slow down. Thank you, car. That is utterly terrifying. Oh no, I've run too wide through there. I might have got it slow down for the first part, not got it slow down for the second part. This is not quite how I envisioned this car driving. I'll be honest. I mean, yeah, the kind of the size, the length of the car, and the general weight of the vehicle, I expected it to be a little bit kind of boat-like, but I didn't expect to have such traction. Yeah, it's four-wheel drive, sure, but even the Bentley would spin the wheels a little bit more than it. The Bentley was incredible, but even that you could spin the wheels up a tiny bit, especially from first gear, kind of at the initial setting off of the line. But this, not the case at all, actually. That's a little bit better through that corner, and we get on the brakes. A couple more laps to not make any silly mistakes, and that would be good. And maybe we can get a decent lap time. The way this thing picks up speed is kind of slightly odd. It's just kind of. And because you're not changing gear or whatnot, it just kind of feels like it just goes on forever, really, just gaining and gaining and gaining. I'm kind of curious to know how fast this is going to go as well, because, yeah, it's almost strange power delivery. It's not massively fast accelerating, but it just keeps gaining speed at the same rate, which is, yeah, I could honestly say I've never really driven anything quite like this. I guess the Tesla would probably be the closest in power delivery, and the fact that you're not changing gear and whatnot. But that's really about the only car that's even vague, and even then, that kind of delivers its power a little bit more normally, I think, than this thing. But I don't know. It's such an odd car. But there we go. Right, let us try. We've got one more lap to try and be neater. This lap here has not been too shabby. If we can just make these final turns without exploring. We do have a fair bit of understeer going on from this machine. Right, I believe from looking at the dials, the one on the top left is a speedo, the top right looks like a rev counter, the one looks like fuel perhaps, and I don't know what the other one is. A 12.4 that time around. Can I find any more time? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Well, this is not exactly that hard to drive, which is not what I was expecting to say about it. I think we do perhaps lack a little bit in the way of actual corner speed. Alright, neatly does it through here. The puddle, be careful of the puddle on the inside. It hasn't actually caused too much problems. After the first episode, Maserati got a bit sideways. I think we had a couple of cars have small sideways issues, but yeah, they haven't kind of been too ridiculous. An issue that I thought it might have been. We are going better this time around. It's nice actually being able to boot it out of that corner there. Absolutely no worry about sliding whatsoever in the Rocket. There we go. We're carrying some more speed through there. Puddles are no problem for the car. We have got to get on the brakes relatively nice and early though to make sure that we get it stopped and around the final turn. I'm liking this lap so far. What are we going to do? Hey, that's a good lap time. That's a really good lap time, a 10.8. This is not a bad car. I really thought it was going to be utterly useless and silly and ridiculous, and it's not quite the case that. It's surprisingly good to drive. Can we get it to do a donut? Oh, not really. It doesn't... No. I mean, it was worth a try. It was... Yeah, well... wonder if... Okay, here's the plan. Here's the plan. If we can get the rear tyres to just clip the grass as we go around. Come on, spin! Hey, kind of. Yeah, well, not really. It's a little bit, a little bit too ginormous, I think. Yeah, I was thinking this was going to be absolutely awful. Whoa, I wonder how quick it goes in reverse. Okay, this might be a... Oh, I love how the thing glows when you're braking. Yeah, this... Okay, well, we can't get too high of speed in reverse. Oh, I was hoping we could do silly stuff. Yeah, it kind of gets the red line quite quickly. Anyway, never mind. Yes, speed. It is a impressively good vehicle around a track. It actually handles pretty well. The brakes are... Well, I mean, it's a heavy vehicle, so actually trying to get it slowed down is a little tough from time to time. But if you get it right, it can actually be pretty damn fast. Yeah, it perhaps lacks a little bit of corner speed in comparison to the Bentley, but overall, it does pretty well. And the fact that you can just, well... full throttle and there is no wheel spin even in the wet, even with all of the power, is pretty good going. Its lap time is actually enough to beat the Maserati race car. It goes into 4th place. It is just around a 10th of a second quicker than the Maserati, and the Mercury Coupe is faster than the Jaguar D-Type. Yes, it does get beaten by the Honda S2000, the Hellcat, and the Bentley, but for such an odd vehicle to go quicker, I was not expecting that. To go quicker than that Maserati, that's actually not that bad at all to go driving with. Well, now it is time to find out just how fast it will go in a straight line. So, of course, that means firing this car down the Le Mans straight. Now, we have got plenty of power, and by the looks of it, well, this is a pretty good streamlined shape, really, for going very fast. Not quite the same power that we've had in the likes of the Jaguar D-Type, etc., but I'm expecting it to go pretty fast. We do only have one gear, but I'm hoping we can still tune that potentially to get any more out. Yeah, it's going to be fast. Hopefully we can get a little bit more out of it. If we do kind of like this, maybe, that might be, oh no, 267 it reckons. Can we crack 270? That'd be pretty damn good going. That's 266. Okay, maybe I was going a little bit too much of the car. It reckons it can do 267. Admittedly, there is a limit to what we can do. I'm assuming we can't do anything. No, we can't. There's a limit to what we can do at Le Mans, full stop. You know, this is the longest straight that we have to work with, but it's not infinitely long. So we have had a few cars running out of straight, really, to get to their top speeds. This one, no idea. Just absolutely no idea. It doesn't really kind of have a blistering launch. It just keeps on going and going and going and gaining speed. Without this roll cage, I think the car... I think it would look even more bizarre in here without the roll cage. Like, the roll cage kind of almost acts as the sort of pillars you would have in a normal car, the way this kind of has just a bubble roof. Without the roll cage, I think it would look perhaps a little peculiar. Despite from the outside it looking utterly strange, but there we go. We will get around these turns again, absolutely no problem. This is a really rather good driving car, which is an odd thing to be saying about it. Oh, ran a little bit wide. How are we across the bumps? Yeah, it's fine, no problem. No problem with the bumps. Right, let's see how you do gaining speed down here. We're up to 180 miles an hour as we leave the corner. We have had cars doing 200 by the time they reach that turn, but still the rocket goes. We're up to 220 miles an hour, 230 we are past now as it's starting to buzz a little bit. 240 miles an hour. Come on, keep going, car. Keep going. 260 something would be good. 250 miles an hour has come and passed. Yeah, it kind of picks up speed in a slightly odd manner, but I do like it. It's still going. 258, and we are going to run out of straight down here. We turn the corner at only lost 4 miles an hour through that turn. Bumps, absolutely no problem. We're probably going to have to get on the brakes now, because otherwise we're going to end up in the scenery somewhere. Ooh, that was a lot of speed. That was a lot of speed from the Rocket. I have no doubt that it could reach 267 with a long enough straight, because it just keeps going and going. Once it gets kind of 250, it slows down, gaining speed, but it is still going. That's, yeah, that's fast. It's some interesting power delivery as well. The fact that, yes, I know it's four-wheel drive and everything, but it just doesn't spin the wheels at all. It just, there's nothing. Is, yeah, quite a... Oh no, we can get wheel spin in reverse. We just can't get wheel spin in first. I wonder if I might have too long of gears for it, but never mind. What an odd experience driving. It's very cool that this car is in Forza 6. It's by far the oddest vehicle I have driven on the game, and, yeah, surprisingly good around a circuit. Straight line speed is also mighty impressive. The 258 miles an hour. We'll put the Rocket into joint third with the Lotus 11. This far more controlled to get to that 258. And the way that it kind of just keeps picking up speed and just keeps going and going and going down the straight, despite not being massively fast accelerating, is also something a bit different. Yeah, what a crazy contraption, but surprisingly accessible and surprisingly drivable. Not at all what I was expecting from it. But there we go. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.